welcome to another episode of Coach's Commentary. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the game that's going to kickstart the excitement in the Asia Cup. Of course, the first match between Pakistan and Nepal would just serve to be a warm-up because Pakistan is a very formidable unit. But the real excitement will start in the second encounter where the host Sri Lankans take on Bangladesh. Let's not forget that Sri Lanka has been terrific in the previous editions of the Asia Cup. After India, they're the best performing side as far as Asia Cup is concerned. On the other hand, Bangladesh is really picking up steam as a team in the ODI format. They've been improving year on year, and that's a side which everybody would like to be wary of for the simple reason they can take the best in the business on a given day and cause a severe upset. But as far as Sri Lanka is concerned, they've already had to contend with a few setbacks as they are without four of their key players due to injuries or illness or as a combination of both. They'll be missing the services of Madhushanka, Hasaranga, Kushal Pereira, and of course, Chamira. Now, Hasaranga has been in terrific form in the LPL or the Lankan Premier League. Whatever awards were given away on the prize distribution dais, it all went to one person. It was Hasaranga. Such a terrific form he was in, and there are big hopes of him having to play a vital role for Sri Lanka if they were to keep up their consistency and high levels of efficacy in the Asia Cup. But that was not to be. So the selectors had to keep on improvising by way of making replacements because the news of the injuries and the illnesses were coming on a day-to-day basis. But however, the advantage of being a home side will always be there for Sri Lanka to take some solace from. And on the basis of what they have done in the past in the ODIs and also in the Asia Cup, they will be keen to try and ensure that they not only compete, but they also improve upon their performances because they know that they can do it. If you're talking about Sri Lanka, you're talking about resilience. We saw an example of it a couple of years ago when they played extraordinarily well against Australia in the home series when they had to contend with a lot of issues pertaining to cricket as well as other societal issues as well that was prevailing in that country then. So let's look at the squad of Sri Lanka. They've also banked upon a lot of batting all-rounders. And of course, they'll have Karunaratne Nisanka at the top of the order. And then you'll have Shanaka, Asalanka, and De Silva to bolster the middle order and also provide that extra advantage of the batters rolling their arm over. As far as keepers are concerned, they'll be served well by Samara Vikrama, Pereira, and Mendes. They've also gone with three keepers. Obviously, these days it's become a bit of a fashion to have at least 2 to 3 keepers in the squad, if only to try and use them as multi-dimensional cricketers. Because these days the keepers are good fielders as well, and some of the good fielders batters they have gone on to add to the repertoire by trying to be keepers as well when the team has needed their services as a backup. As far as bowling is concerned, they also mixed it up well. They got a variety in their bowling. They have the off spinner Thikshana, then they have the left arm spinner in Velalage, and then they have Emanta, who will be the right arm leg spinner. But of course, Hasaranga will be a big miss for them, but you cannot help it. Once you're aware of the fact that you're going to miss somebody, however good a performer that he is, you've got to get on with it and take things on the chin. As far as the fast bowling is concerned, Patirana will be there, and then there will be Fernando, who will be the left arm medium fast, and then Madhushan, who will be the right arm fast medium option, along with Rajita for them. So they've mixed it up well. They've got a lot of variety in their bowling attack. But what will be critical is how they perform as far as the middle overs is concerned. I'm talking about Sri Lanka performing well in the middle overs, both in terms of the batting and in terms of the bowling. Of course, their bowling looks depleted, but if they can make use of the knowledge of the local conditions, and if they can try and create a little bit of a surprise. I say this because sometimes when the opposition has been focusing on XYZ, and then suddenly, due to various reasons, A, B, C are drafted into the side, they're not really sort of planning or focusing on these cricketers. And therein lies the opportunity for these cricketers to create a surprise. One has to also think of the fact that these cricketers might be charged up. They like to make use of this opportunity that they got by sheer accident, because let's not forget the Sri Lankan cricketers are highly talented, and they're also highly competitive, and they know what they can do as a team, because that has been the mantra as far as Sri Lankan cricket is concerned. They go out on the field and try and do their best, and as a unit, they can really play good cricket. They're aware of that, whether it's battling against the administrators in cricket, or whether it's against the conditions that are prevailing in the country. They are resilient, and they know how to put up a fight, and they know how to be competitive. And that is what is going to really come to the fore here. And let's not forget that the Sri Lankan side has always been supported by their fans. No matter how they're performing, they'll all be there rooting for their side, for their favorite stars, and of course, creating that atmosphere of festivity, which will again be something that all the visiting sites will enjoy. And that is why Sri Lanka is a great destination for tourism, and also for cricket tournament such as the Asia Cup. I hope that Sri Lanka goes on to really surprise everybody and do wonders in this edition of the Asia Cup too. And the fact that they've done well in the earlier editions of the Asia Cup, as I said when I started this episode, will also give them that added fillip and motivation to go all out and do as well as they can. On that note, I'd like to end this episode. And as I say always when I sign off, until I catch up with you next time, be good and stay safe.